Princess too.
Ọba
Ọmọ Ọba.
ọmọ ọba ọba nkí ọba.
Ọmọ Ọba of Ororuwo.
Ọ̀rọ̀rúwọ̀ ọmọ ọba Èjìgbò.
Osun State.
Ọba.
Hello, I'm Dynasty Demir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I gonna go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom.
Till next time, Dynasty Demir, I'm out.
Okay, we are going to cancel for art and culture now. Can I tell you that in my own language? Will you be able to understand?
No.
You may not.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. You will understand.
Hold on. Alosi.
Unlossy.
Cultural cultural arts.
Ilé iṣẹ́ àṣà, ibùdó àṣà. No. And hub. You understand? You say something is hub. You understand hub, right? That's the hub of the culture that we're going to today. So Unlossy ibùdó àṣà. Yeah. Àti iṣẹ́. Arts. Iṣẹ́ ọnà. You know, arts. We've seen a lot of artworks there. Where we're coming from, we've seen a lot of.
Judah.
State about what is happening in Nigeria as a whole. You are welcome to Osun State again on behalf of the Mr. Governor Alhaji Isiaka Adegboyega Oyetola. Here is the Osun. We are too friendly. There's an able environment for you to do whatever you want. That's a legal one. We don't allow illegal things.
No,
we don't about criminal. We don't about crime. This is the only and the most peaceful state in Nigeria today. This is where you can just move out. Nobody will harass you. Since we have been coming, you know that we came late. Do you see any traces of what you have been seeing on social media about Nigeria? Do you see anybody stop you on the road? No. We are crime-free people. This is the state that you can even establish, you can bring your money and establish your investment here in Osun State. There's no part in Osun State that does not have the cultural heritage, which is viable for tourism activities. And we have so many, and the door is open for the investment. Whoever that are interested, you can join the state. It is state material, so you can join them. These are the people in charge, and they are very friendly. So whenever you come to them, they will open their door. You are welcome to Osun State. If anybody have any question, free to ask before we go.
Before we go around other departments and see what they do.
Thank you so much.
I know she will have. How are you now?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm seeing you now, I'm tired.
Yeah.
That's good. You are really transformed though.
Yeah.
So, as I did say, we have some departments who are very cultural. We will lead you to where they go and see a bit of what they do. So if eventually our information officer, how do I call this? Any other thing to add?
Nothing to add for now.
Yeah, so please, can we just step forward and visit another time?
Yes, sir.
That's where my grandmother is from. I'm about to be 35. They say my mom's 50, so we've been over there this whole time.
Good morning, everybody. I really don't want to stress you with the effort of trying to learn the language so much, but we've learned some there. You know, just like a boxer in Animal Farm, you teach him ABCD, he will know that one. By the time you go beyond to teaching EFG, you have forgotten ABCD. So the little you've learned there, I wanted to stay with you for now. This is Visual Art Department of the Osun State Council for Arts and Culture. It's one of the professional departments. Just like the Executive Secretary said, our aim or our objective, our mission is to propagate, to promote, and to preserve the rich cultural heritage of the state. So we, in this department, work in synergy with other professional departments like the field research and documentation and performing arts. This is the visual aspect of art. That is what you can see and feel. What we have on stand are basically carvings and some other crafts. You know, Yoruba is widely recognized as an ethnic group that is most prolific in carving. In the whole of Africa, it's number one. But we've had a lot of icons who have actually taken Osun to the global map of art. Now we have most of the works, most of Yoruba artwork, quite unlike the Western art. You will see that most of the time their heads are blown out of proportion. And the reason being that the head is the seat of power, is the seat of wisdom. So when you talk of Yoruba art, they hardly go through the normal process of proportion, where you have 7 heads in a human figure. But it could be 1/3 of the entire figure. It's just to portray the importance of head. That is why you see that it's not as if they don't know proportion. They know it quite well, but the belief that the head of a person is where his luck lies. That is why you have most of these things like this. And importantly, what we do here is to portray our culture. This is Babalawo. You understand? Babalawo, you know, if you know about Ifa definition very well, you discover that the whole wisdom of the world starts from Ifa. It's deep, very, very deep. that's where you have creativity, that's where you have intelligence, that's where you have wisdom, that's where you have a lot of things embedded in that Ifa corpus. So now you will also have some that are, this is a Ogo issue, you understand? You have so many of them on the exhibition stand, as you can see. Then we also have some textile materials, which in a way we also use to emphasize our own culture. You can see this is an applique. You can see some of them there. They are decorative and we use them for embellishment too. Then you have, I'm sure you are here basically because of the Osun Osogbo Festival. Let me show you an artwork that portrays that so much. This is a metal work. This is the Osun Votary Maid, which we are going to see tomorrow.
Next tomorrow.
Friday.
Okay, next tomorrow, on Friday. This is the Votary Maid. You understand the Votary Maid? This is the Aruba. That's the traditional name for it. Aruba. And you have the two attendants. When you get to the group on Friday, just watch out. It's just the cynosure of all eyes at that event. Then you have some other. This is a painting.
You are not finished about Aruba. Let them know the fish, all these elements.
This is the calabash, so to speak, where the sacrificial items are being kept. Then you have the fish. Osogbo is synonymous with fish. So the title of the traditional ruler of Osogbo is called Ataoja, Atowogbeja. That is using your hand to collect fish. So that is the history of Osogbo. Then you now see that this is a two-dimensional painting. It's not purely a painting like that. These are textile materials cut into bits. You can feel it.
Oh wow!
You see, it's not paint at all. These are clothes. These are clothes that were actually designed to form this. Then you have this is the logo of our council here, Osun State Council for Arts and Culture. You have the drum. Osun basically is made up of 3 different, groups. You have the Oyos, and this is what they use, the talking drum. Then, if you have gone to Ife, this is Okpa Oromiyan. That's the staff of Oromiyan. Oromiyan is the first Alaafin of Oyo.
The youngest child of Oduduwa.
Of Oduduwa. Then you have the fish, which is also synonymous with the Osogbo. Then you have this sword, which is the character of the Ijeshas. So this is a complete Osun State, as you can see. Then you now have some textile. Unfortunately, we almost ran out of stuff. Otherwise, some weeks ago, you see that the whole of this place is freedom because we sent them.
Is that batik?
Yeah, this is batik. Yes, these are appliques.
And that one over there, what is it? No, that one. Yes.
This one?
No, the one that yes.
This is batik, but it's decorative. It's applique. Now, let me take you through the history of Nigeria, which I think is very, very important for you to understand. This is Nigeria. This is the history of Nigeria. Now, it starts with slave trade that lasted for over 300 years, from the 16th century or thereabouts. Then this portrays the time the slaves were taken to the West Indies and some those Americas, Trinidad and Tobago, Brazil, all those worlds. Then you can see man inhumanity to man. They were forced to work tirelessly on the plantation, and yet they are not guarded with padlock so that they cannot even have a field, or they can't taste the sugar cane. Then came the scramble and partition of Africa. That was when the British, the German, the French all came. The Portuguese all came to Africa to scramble for Africa. Eventually, Nigeria as an entity fell into the hands of the British. So at the end, you will see that these are the three major ethnic groups representing the Igbo, the Hausa, and the Yoruba. This is Obafemi Awolowo, as this is signature cap. Eventually, their own nationalists, they fought for the independence, and eventually they got the independence. That was when, at independence, the Union Jack, which represented the British flag, was lowered, while Nigerian flag was hoisted. Then, before we know it, there came a military coup d'etat. You can see how they came with their guns and dismantled the ballot, the symbol of democracy. You can see the injury inflicted on our democratic body. Eventually, in 1999, we were able to come back and restore our democracy back, which is what we are enjoying today. So this is a hand casting a vote in the ballot box. So this is the symbol of democracy.
So what does the green symbolize, and what does the white symbolize? The
White.
green and the white.
No, this is our color. This is our national color.
I know, but
Yeah.
what do they symbolize?
The green symbolizes vegetation, while the white symbolizes peace.
Okay.
Let's know about this.
Long before oil came, we have the northern granite pyramid. As you can see, these are bags of the pyramid. Then eventually you now have the cocoa, the mainstay of the Yoruba economy. Back then, before we now began to get drill oil in the Niger Delta, as you can see. So this is a mask which signifies the African tradition in us. As you can see this. Then you have, these are all Wheel of Progress. Just like that. The Weight of a Nation, that is the title of this.
Let's do
Yeah. I have a question.
Okay.
I want you to go back to the 1884, 1885 Berlin Conference, when Africa was partitioned. So I want you to find out what impact did it have on the tribal makeup of this region?
Of Africa?
No,
Nigeria.
this region.
This region is called Southwest, and that is occupied by the Yorubas. And the Yoruba as an ethnic group goes far, far beyond the entity of Nigeria. We find them in Benin Republic, we find them in Togo, we find them in Cuba, we find them in Brazil. Most of the things we practice here are even being practiced in Brazil. And as a matter of fact,
Haiti also. Haiti and
yes, Haiti. As a matter of fact, recently the Brazilians, they even adopted the Yoruba language as one of the lingua francas in Brazil. So now there was a time where even in Venezuela, where the Yoruba lost over 400 verses of Ifa, and those ones are where resided now in Venezuela. So you can see that for how to demonstrate. If you have not made your hair, I think we would have used it as a good example. Yeah, really. This is Mrs. Mujidat Yusuf. She's the head of fashion hairdressing unit. We have Mrs. Victoria Agunloye, the head of tailoring unit. Then we also have Mr. Maruf Ibrahim. He's also in the tailoring unit. Here we sew both traditional and contemporary styles. So any style you want to, they are capable of doing it. We also do stoning and a lot of other things, embroidery, basically on our own Yoruba form of embroidery where we use to also.
You got a sample of that?
Sample. In fact, we recently we even saw for the performing troupe. I think they are in the office of the executive secretary.
We have a place where we keep our costumes.
Yes.
Okay. It's part of the award we do there.
Yeah, something.
So they saw Ashoke. Ashoke has the same, almost the same texture with this. No, but it's not. This is
Ankara.
Really? Very
Yeah.
nice.
Can we take this place to the?
So they use this one to produce bamboo cutting.
Yes. Bamboo cutting.
This bamboo cutting.
Okay,
So this is where we do some of our work. But I want you to come to the workshop here. Once again, you are welcome to the main. This is the main workshop of the visual art department. Where we do a lot of things. We carve here, we do textile, we do sculpture. You can see we are about commencing a huge project in this department. You can see some of those wood. We want to turn them into something very, very fascinating. Now, let me introduce some of the staff here. This is Mr. Tajuddin Anifowoshe Rahim. He's the head of carving unit. You can see, I think, evidence of good living. You can see how structured it is. Then we have Mr. Kuti Abiodun.
You're welcome.
He is also the head of the textile unit here. Then you can see there are some, maybe I will call them apprentices. All of them here, they are members of the National Youth Service Corps. You know, it's a program designed for fresh graduates in Nigeria. I don't know if you have it in your country. For a year, it's compulsory.
No, they don't have it.
They don't have it. No. So if you graduate from any of the Nigerian higher institutions, you are bound to undergo the national service. And at the end of the day, you'll be given a certificate, which is a prerequisite for you to get a job anywhere. So it's compulsory.
Yeah.
So now they don't want to just spend the 1 year doing nothing.
Right.
Though they are serving here too, but they are also adding value to the system. So some of these things are what we do here. These are things we have done. These are all traditional. Those ones you saw in the gallery are also produced by us. So these are what we are just doing here. So I'm sure you fed your eyes and you are also you are satisfied with what you have seen here.
So we can now go to the hall for a mini.
Mufta Adeleke. Okay. That's my name. I'm indigenous of Ejigbo under Osun State. This is a mark. This is a mark that we are using as a prince of the town. I'm a prince. Oba. That is it. Oba.
So we got two princes, two Oba.
Obanki Oba.
Oba of Ororuo.
Oba Ejigbo.
Osun State.
Obaki Oba. So King, great
King, great King.